So for homework question 6.22, we're told that we have a laser that is got a wavelength of 450 nanometers. And it generates a pulse at that wavelength that contains 2.75 times 10 to the 15 photons. Right, they want to know what's the total energy is what we're looking for. So to find that, right, we know we can relate our wavelength of light to the energy of that light. So we know energy equals Planck's constant times the speed of light divided by my wavelength. That lets me take the wavelength and convert it to an energy. That is the energy for one photon. We're releasing 2.75 times 10 to the 15. So step one, we'll find the energy for one photon. And then step two, we're going to multiply by my total number of photons to find total energy. So my energy equals Planck's constant 6.626 times 10 to the minus 34 joules times seconds. My speed of light 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Over my wavelength, wavelength needs to be in meters. So go back and we'll convert this 450 nanometers. Right, 1 times 10 to the 9 nanometers is 1 meter. So I've got 4.5 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. Plug that in as my wavelength, 4.5 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. And I'm going to get an energy for one photon of 6.626 times 10 to the minus 34 times 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by 4.5 times 10 to the minus 7. The energy for one photon is 4.41 times 10 to the minus 19 joules, because when we multiply, seconds cancel out, we divide, meters cancel out. Right? The only unit that's left, joules. That's the energy for one photon. Right, so 4.41 times 10 to the minus 19 joules per photon. We happen to have 2.75 times 10 to the 15 total number of photons. So we have to multiply by my total number of photons. That cancels out, and we're going to get the total energy of that pulse. So times 2.75 times 10 to the 15. Right, and I get a total energy for that pulse of about 0.00121 joules, or right, 1.21 times 10 to the minus 3 joules of energy. Three significant figures based on the number of photons. Really, they should have put this. I know they're looking for three significant figures. I would have gone 2 based on the 450, but I'm looking at the back end and it's set for 3 significant figures. So yeah, 1.21 times 10 to the minus 3 joules for question 22.